Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show today. Hope everybody's out there having fun, enjoying life, enjoying your liberties and freedoms. And honk honk. Let's get into this today. This is going to be about magic. This is going to be the building of magic, specifically. Here we go. Actually, before I get into that, please like, share, subscribe. Spread the channel. You have to get around. I hope I'm doing a good job. Like I said, tell me in the comments if I'm doing a good job. Tell me in the comments if I'm doing something wrong. And so magic. Let's build something. Step 4 in the whole magic thing, after I covered belief, conviction, choosing mystic art. Building PPE. Your PPE is basically your magical energy supply. Your character has this. Your character needs this to cast spells. This is kind of what limits certain things. It's like why you need to do certain things in the game. There's like certain 1,000-point spells that you need a certain amount of PPE to do. And yeah, you can't do them without the proverbial amount of PPE. I'll get into how you get more PPE than you currently have when I go through this section. But individual PPE, an average person, is 2d6. 2d6, that's it. A little bit, doesn't matter, not really enough to power much. Can't use it even, because if a normal person who is not a magic user, yes, you can know you have PPE in your system, yes, you can, but you don't have the belief or the conviction to said use PPE. Now, you can, in essence, give up your PPE. Like if a mage asks somebody to give them PPE, he can go, yeah, sure, dude, whatever you want. And you just kind of feel a little, weird. I don't know. I have to describe the feeling, like, if you borrowed somebody else's PPE and you were okay with it, it's feeling like a little wonky or something. Nothing too deadly, nothing that really affects you. Hence why you would do it. All right, so I'm going to cover this right now. Basically, if you have this, you can play a mage. Here's a bunch of mages doing all sorts of magey things. And, and as for PPE on Rift's Earth, here you go. There it is! A giant ley line stream flowing across the planet. Let's just put it this way. If you see one of those, you might want to stay away from it. Alright, so what we're going to do right now is going to get into this idea. There's magic. Your character can access it. Now, see the mage in the corner? He's part of the magic group. He's got his own personal, individual supply of energy. Let me do this here. Here it is. So, permanent PPE base for a practitioner of magic is a nurturing and holding PPE. Your character, over years of study, time, endurance, belief, and conviction, and choosing a mystical art, has focused you into a PPE battery. And that's what you do. You have your PPE base. Like I said, most people have 2d6. If you have 2d6, odds are you got around 6, maybe 8 if you're lucky. But usually the average roll is about a 6. Not much. If you could figure out how to access it for a second, there ain't much you can cast with it. However, a dedicated mage, like a leyline walker, shifter, or any other one of them, has 10 to 50 times this. So instead of, I've only got 6, low-end mage, or less powerful, how do I phrase that? It's not less powerful, but different specialty, like mystics and stuff like that. There's several that straddle lines, i.e. there's things like the mystic, which is psionic and magic, but theirs is very specific as to how they do it, and I'll get into that when I do OCCs. They would have a lower, but if you are a leyline walker, you got a lot of PPE. Your guy basically lives, eats, and breathes. Heck, a leyline walker can actually leyline rejuvenate. Can literally, in that blue field, let me do this again. He can literally walk up to that thing, lay down in it, and just coast and heal. He can actually hover in it. However, non-magical user, it's blue energy. It feels kind of weird and tingly on the skin, and you would kind of understand that that's where monsters are. Because, yes, monsters do hang around magical energy flows, especially if they're magical kind of monster. So, you have a permanent EP base. And here at the bottom it states that each magic spell, invocation, or ritual, or whatever it is, requires a certain amount. This basically gives you a point system to use during game that makes sense. I.e., and the thing is your character could know the, summon army of undead spell. Don't think it actually exists. But, and it's 1,000 PPE. Or it's 2,000 PPE. Okay, guess what? Yeah, there ain't too many creatures anywhere that even being an elder dragon is going to have, well, depends on what you did. But even being an elder dragon, you don't have that much PPE. This is where the other methods of gathering PP come into play. And they're all the classic kind of movie ones that you can have a little bit of fun with. But, like I said, you are a living battery. That gives, basically, the concept of PPE gives you a point system, basically like psionics and ISP, or, a gun and an E-clip. Except with this, you can power whatever you want and choose at multiple randoms. All right, so going down here, PPE, cost of each spell, recovery PPE. Wizards have learned to recover PPE faster. You recover PPE and ISP at about 5 points per hour. 10 points of sleep, or no, it's 5 points per hour of just sleep, or just rest. Okay, yeah, 5 points at a rate of 5 points per every hour of rest or sleep. I.e., if you go to sleep for 8 hours, 40 PPE is returned to you. It's because you basically didn't spend your time doing stuff. No, rest does not count as we were walking through the woods. Walking through the woods takes effort. If you've ever been backpacking or hiking like I have, yeah, it does. It takes a lot of effort. I mean, I get up to the top of a mountain sometimes and I'm just beat. Then again, I'm out of shape. But, I have friends that are mountain climbers. Good for them. I climb LED walls and get paid for it. All right. So that's basic recovery. Meditation is different. Meditation is the equivalency of you put yourself in a meditative state, i.e. kind of a deeper form of rest and rejuvenation. Mages are taught to do this. Some psionics get this ability normally, that kind of thing. It is kind of neat that they have this, by the way, because it adds a level to being a mage where there's a reason that the mage goes off and sits on a rock and kind of breathes in the universe. It's also kind of funny because it's like, hey guys, we're all making dinner. What's the mage doing? He's meditating on a rock again. Well, he did summon that fireball at the right time. Yeah, let's let him sit in the rock and I'll cook dinner. Yeah, hope he likes whatever we killed because I'm frying it up and eating it. All right, so that meditation gives you 10. That's really good. If you sleep 8 hours, you get 10, you get 80. That's great, especially if you're a high-end mage. Now, you might want to say we rested for 10 hours or you meditated for 10 hours. I technically count meditation as sleep. The reasons for this are a myriad. I've seen things where people can meditate and it's just like sleep for them, mental state-wise. But if you don't want to do that, don't do that. It's your game. Now, other sources of PPE, where we get into kind of sort of the more thematic or dramatic kind of stuff that people do. And this kind of plays into the movie kind of thing where, I have this, like the first one here, drawing PPE from magical artifacts. I have the magic can of energy. Liquid Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you. Yeah. Or a magic ring. The magic ring holds 10 PPE, or the magic ring is a magic crystal. There's certain devices and things like Techno-Wizard devices that can hold PPE. There's also just like magic talismans. And so it sort of follows the movie tropes of, I have a crystal necklace. Well, the crystal necklace protects me from zombies. Well, the crystal necklace also stores a bit of magical energy. Now, there's rules, and I'll go some of those spells. I'm not really going to go into the individual spells, but basically this is like, I can hold a battery. Usually being magical, sort of the thematic thing is that, yes, I have the crystal of Kimpur. It holds the soul of Bob. And I can draw on that power. Okay, well, how much do you do? It's also kind of an artifact thing. Drawing PPE from other living beings. This is the next phase of it. First, it's magical items which you would wear or your character would hold and possess. Necklace, band bracer, rings. Yeah, go over all the movie tropes of my ring of power, my necklace of unprotection, my chastity belt of. Wait, why am I wearing a chastity belt? But now we go into the PPE from other living beings. Now, freely given, you can absorb 70% of somebody else's PPE. That is, you yell at the guys, hey, I need more power. Can I borrow your guys' PPE? Most likely every guy goes, yeah, because you're probably about to pull off some save for them. So they go, yeah. You whoosh, and boom, cast spell, and it works. That's freely given. So I basically think about it this way. A person with, say, let's go 6 average PPE can give you 4. Or actually, if you do the math, I think that's only 3. Somebody carry the 1. Oh, fuck it, I'm not going to do math. But that's how it is. They can freely give you their PPE. Now, this works a little bit better if you're dealing with magical creatures. They tend to have a lot more. All right, now, note on drawing from an unwilling person. They get a save, throw versus magic, and they get a +4. Yeah. Now the PPE is collective, they make the save. One can be drained if he's fighting the process of stepping away, doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. It is impossible to draw PPE from an unwilling practitioner of magic. The reason for this is that person, like you being another mage, has learned to harness their PPE, control it, keep themselves all in. Basically, they're a living battery. They know how to turn off the power supply. That's it. They just know how to. Like, here, let's do this. Like any one of these guys. They would all go, oh, I don't want to take that power. Shh. However, you can get it out of them another way, which is the next one I'm going to go into, which follows the movie trope of let's sacrifice somebody. Blood sacrifices. Yes, this is the classic movie thing with the guy, and face it, movie bad guy, skull helm, really bad makeup, and a bunch of people around him half dressed going, Mudu. This follows that trope. It is funny if you just go with it. You don't really have a good, bad guy unless he's, standing over somebody helpless with a big dagger in his hand, lots of blood and a skull helmet. You're not at a fun place yet. That's when you look at your buddy and you go, dude, Bob, I told you she wasn't worth it. But blood sacrifice, sacrificing a human, monster, anything. Anything in the game has PPE. Once they're killed, normally what happens is their PPE is doubled and then poured into the ley line energy of the planet. Yeah. That's what happens. That's how the rifts happened. I went into all that in my history video where I went, where basically for thousands of years we've been dying and pouring double our PPE. Now, granted, each individual person is 6, makes that 12, not that much. Billions of people over hundreds and hundreds of years, a lot more magic. But blood sacrifices is a way, and when the evil mage does it, because if there is no way a good mage is going to sacrifice anybody, I'm sorry, there's no moral. Your person cannot be principled and sacrifice an evil person on a throne. Doesn't work that way. So, blood sacrifice. Yeah. And basically, you sacrifice them, double the PB, use that as a spell. Usually this is kind of that, like I said, trope where the guy's in the middle of a bunch of people with an altar and a blood knife and that kind of crap. But, you can do cows, oxes, dogs. Most good characters will do this is, like I said, classic bad guy thing where you've got to save the item, object, or person at the bottom of it. Cats, maybe a good person, I don't know. Depends on whether you like cats or not. All right. Principal descriptive characters will never do this. Like I said, there's no justification for a good person sacrificing somebody else. The very nature of a good person is that they sacrifice themselves for others. The next is ley lines and nexus points. Now, ley lines you can harvest a certain amount. the time you're there. Nexus points, it's more, infinitely more. This is why most magic societies, magic societies are based on either a ley line or a nexus point, or even, like Tolkien or Laszlo, multiple nexus points. Because they're mages, they all know how to control it, they figured out how to calm it all down, they did all that kind of stuff. Now, PPE, let me through this. People around the world, blah, blah, 2 miles, you can tell them 50% winning within 200 miles, blah, blah, blah. Available PPE ley lines can draw with a PPE, 10 PPE once every melee round from a ley line and 20 PPE from a nexus point. This is the concept of, like, building a spell or building something massive. Like, if you've got to do a 2,000 point spell, okay, each round is 15 seconds, and it takes 2,000 PPE divided by 20. That means you need X, amount of melee rounds to get it done. If the person is shot in the middle of this and dies, well, they can't concentrate anymore. The person needs to concentrate for that amount to build it up. All right, well, that's why you build, why the Atlanteans build pyramids, and I'll get into why they build pyramids later and what they do. Available PPE for the first 1d4 minutes at dawn. Now, this is what I'm going to do. This is the mage, whatever mage would know, is that there are certain times of day, certain times of the year, and certain things that make the energy more that you can draw from. And like it says here, triple available during daylight hours of a vernal spring equinox and night hours of antietam autumn annual equinox. Basically, like equinoxes, all those stellar phenomena that all line up. This is why it's good for your character to have astronomy. You can figure those out. Doubles, triples, and summer solstice, you get, blah, 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 multiple around blank PPE by 10 from the above till dusk. Lunar eclipse is 12 times. Partial solar eclipse is 30 times. Minor planetary alignment is 10 times the same. Solstice, blah, 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 50 minutes. Major planetary alignment. All the planets in the universe line up like this. In other words, something that happens every 20,000 years. You get a whole bunch of it. That's how magic is worked. That's how PPE is built up. That's how you kind of use it and gather it. Now, this is just me going on right now. Basically, I'll put this up. That's how magic works in the game. You can often use this thematically, like I said, for the inevitable human sacrifice. We have to stop this spell from being done because it can only be done at the equinox, and it has to be done under the moon. And if we can stop it before the planetary alignment happens, we can stop this evil thing from calling forth the doom of the world. That kind of thing. This often plays out if you're very smart. You can let this be thematical, but it gives the players kind of a time crunch. It's not like we can go and do it whenever. We need to get it done now. Adds a certain amount of emphasis of you need to do this now, of hurry up, move, sort of carrying the plot forward. Now, inevitably, there's a mage tower, and there's all this kind of stuff. But this can be done in the middle of a field if you got a right ley line, or it can just be done somewhere. That's what you need to do, and you can use this to keep time up, to keep pace with the game. But have a lot of fun with it. And yeah, magical characters should know a lot of this stuff. If they don't, let them read the book. They should, pay attention to how to be magic. All right. Well, that being said, I'm going to end it right here. And next upcoming will be Understanding Magic. I'll go over all little magic terms and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I am your friendly neighborhood tech wizard. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if this is a bit too long. I had to go into a lot of stuff here, but try to make it short. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Please comment in the comment section. Let me know how I'm doing. Yeah, please like me over on Gab, Rumble, Getter, and any other social media platforms. Just remember, Freedom Honk. Keep it up. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate every one of you. And I have worked with Fergal, and I do know Chad the Man.